The whispers started small, like raindrops before a storm. Your name, once just letters on a page, now echoes through hallways and buzzes across screens. Stories of your exploits grow wilder with each retelling. Some say you appeared at 3 different parties on the same night. Others swear you spoke wisdom that changed their lives forever. Your legend expands daily, morphing into something beyond your control. Friends tag you in screenshots of conversations where strangers claim you performed impossible feats. The internet has adopted you as its newest character, building mythology around moments you barely remember. But behind the exaggerations and emoji-filled captions lies something genuine. You've touched lives in ways you never imagined. The universe notices when someone moves differently, and now it's showering you with opportunities that feel like blessings. As your notifications flood with messages from people you've never met, remember this: becoming legendary isn't about chasing fame. It's about being so authentically yourself that the world can't help but take notice. People see what they want to see in you. Some admire, some fear, but no one ignores. Your presence alone forces them to react. To some, you're a rising star, a force to be reckoned with. To others, you're a mystery they can't decode. But the undeniable truth: you live rent-free in their minds, and they don't even realize it. It's human nature. People build myths around those who stand out. The psychology behind it is simple. When someone moves differently, refuses to blend in, and carries an energy that can't be tamed, people start crafting their own narratives. They need to define what they can't understand. And so, the whispers turn into conversations. The conversations turn into stories, and before you know it, you've become an urban legend. Your energy precedes you. You've seen it happen. How people act like they know you before you've even said a word. A stranger meets you for the first time, but they already have an opinion about who you are. They've heard things, seen things, felt the shift in the air when your name was spoken. They don't just see you, they perceive you through a filter of expectation, assumption, and intrigue. Some will swear you have some secret advantage. They'll say you always win, that things just work out for you. They don't see the battles, the nights of uncertainty, the silent struggles. No, they only see the outcome. And because the outcome always favors you, they create their own explanations: luck, connections, something supernatural, anything but the truth, that you've earned every bit of your success. But perception shapes reality. The more they believe in your legend, the more the world starts treating you like one. People approach you differently. Opportunities appear out of nowhere. Your name carries weight. Even in rooms you've never entered, what started as whispers has become a roar. And whether they love you or hate you, they all keep watching. Because deep down, they wonder, what makes you different? Why does your name keep coming up? And most importantly, how can they capture even a fraction of the energy you bring into the world? They don't realize the answer is simple. You're not trying to be legendary, you just are. Every legend has storytellers. The moment your name started spreading, people took it upon themselves to add details, to exaggerate, to make the story even better. Some do it out of admiration, some out of envy, and some just because they love a good story. But no matter their reason, one thing is clear: your name is currency, and everyone wants a piece. Your biggest fans are your loudest advocates. They hype you up in conversations, defend you against doubters, and speak about you like they've known you forever. You've seen it. Strangers online passionately explaining why you're different, why you're built for this. They talk about moments you don't even remember, attributing meaning to things that were never planned. To them, you're not just a person anymore. You're a symbol. Then there are the haters, the skeptics, the ones who roll their eyes every time your name is mentioned. But here's the irony. They talk about you just as much, if not more, than your supporters. They analyze your moves, try to predict your next step, wait for a moment of weakness. But in their obsession with proving you're not special, they only make you more relevant. After all, silence kills a legend. Talk keeps it alive. And let's not forget the spectators, the ones who don't pick a side but love to spread what they hear. They take the wildest rumors and pass them along like an underground currency. One day, they hear you closed a deal that wasn't even on the table. The next, they say you disappeared for months because you were working on something huge. They don't need proof. Speculation is more entertaining than reality. You've probably heard some of the wildest things about yourself. Maybe someone swore they saw you at 2 places at once. Maybe they claim you have some secret method for success that no one else has figured out. Or maybe, just maybe, the stories they tell about you are so good, even you start wondering if there's some hidden truth in them. But here's the secret. None of this would happen if you weren't worth talking about. Whether the details are real or fabricated, the fact remains. Your name stays in their mouths because your presence stays on their minds. Legends don't just happen, they are forged through fire. Every win you've had, every time you landed on your feet, wasn't luck. It was inevitability. You were never supposed to fail. Even when the odds were stacked against you, when they whispered that this time you wouldn't make it, you did. And that's what keeps fueling the myth. People admire resilience, but they also fear it. They don't understand how you keep pushing forward, how every setback turns into a setup for something greater. Some assume you have an unfair advantage. Some say you're just blessed, while others think you must have a secret they don't. But there is no secret, just the refusal to accept anything less than what you know is yours. Warning: the following message is only for those who've felt the call. When I broke free through the Salvia Divinorum gateway, I saw the horrifying truth. Our reality is one harvested pod among countless matrices. I witnessed the archons, cosmic parasites feeding on our energy, who laughed and threatened, "You'll never awaken a single soul." But something inside you already knows this truth, doesn't it? That nagging sensation that you're meant for more, that you've been chosen. I'm raising an army of the brightest souls. Through meditation, I discovered their only vulnerability: coherence through unconditional love. Feel that resonance deepening within you now. You're not reading this by accident. The most powerful awakened souls are already gathering in the Obsidian Inner Order, the #1 ascension nexus for those marked by destiny. Christians, lightworkers, remote viewers, targeted individuals, all united by one truth: you were chosen for this moment. Click the link in the description below. Join our group calls, panels, and live streams, reaching the entire Astral Atom network. Your frequency amplifies ours. The question isn't whether you're chosen. The question is, will you answer the call? The Archons fear this choice you're about to make. They should. They've watched you walk through storms that should have broken you. They saw you take hits that would have kept anyone else down. But you got back up like nothing happened, and that's what unsettles them the most. Not just that you win, but that you win every time. Some people wait for your downfall. They study your moves, hoping for a moment of weakness, a mistake, a misstep. They count you out, whisper that this time your luck has run out. But it never does. The same people who doubted you yesterday will be the ones saying, "I always knew. You had it in you tomorrow." It's not that you haven't struggled, it's that you never let struggle define you. You took every loss and flipped it into a lesson. You adapted, you adjusted, you moved differently when necessary, and that's what makes you unstoppable. Not just talent, not just luck, but the simple fact that you refuse to stay down. The pattern is undeniable. No matter what happens, you always land on your feet. And the more it happens, the more people believe you were meant for this. They start calling you lucky, chosen, blessed. But deep down, you know the truth. You weren't chosen. You chose yourself. And that's why you keep winning. A casual mention turns into a trending topic. A throwaway comment about you multiplies into a full-blown narrative overnight. Social media doesn't just spread stories, it builds legends. And right now, your name is moving faster than you ever expected. Screenshots, reposts, and viral moments have turned you into something bigger than yourself. Someone sees a tweet about you and assumes it's fact. A clipped moment from a conversation is taken as proof of your greatness or your downfall. Strangers who have never met you argue in comment sections, passionately debating who you are, what you've done, and what you're about to do next. It's surreal, watching people talk about you like you're a fictional character in a story. They're writing in real time. One moment they claim you're untouchable. The next, they act like they've uncovered some deep secret about your life. But no matter what side they take, one thing is certain. They're all talking. Algorithms love engagement, and your name is engagement gold. The more people react, comment, and share, the further your legend spreads. A post about you might start as a joke, but the internet runs with it until even you start seeing yourself in a new light. The stories evolve, the myths deepen, and before long your digital footprint reaches places you've never even stepped in. One day, you wake up to see your face on a viral meme. Your name in a conversation you were never a part of. A post about you with thousands of likes, filled with people analyzing your every move. Some will swear they've met you, that they knew you before all this. Others will act like they've uncovered your entire life story based on nothing but speculation. It's a wildfire, unpredictable, uncontrollable, and always spreading. And whether you like it or not, you are the topic. But here's the real power in all of this. Once the internet decides you're legendary, you can never go back to being regular. Your name alone is opening doors before you even knock. People you've never met want to associate with you, invest in you, and align with your energy. Not because you asked, but because your presence carries weight. Opportunities that others chase are finding you effortlessly. Some call it luck. Others say it's the universe rewarding you. But in reality, this is what happens when your reputation precedes you. When people believe in your legend, they project success onto you. They assume you're valuable, so they treat you as such. Suddenly, exclusive rooms feel less exclusive. Conversations that once seemed out of reach now start with, "I've heard a lot about you." And it's not just material success, it's spiritual too. The energy you've put into the world is coming back tenfold. You notice how things align, how the right people appear at the right time, how life seems to be clearing a path for you. The blessings aren't random. They're a result of how you move, how you carry yourself, how you've unknowingly created an aura people want to be around. But with abundance comes responsibility. You'll have to balance gratitude with discernment, recognizing that not everyone drawn to you has pure intentions. Some want proximity to your light without contributing to it. Staying true to yourself will be the difference between fleeting hype and lasting impact. Because at the end of the day, being legendary isn't just about receiving blessings, it's about knowing how to handle them. It's funny how the ones who claim to dislike you are the same ones who can't stop talking about you. They monitor your every move, dissect your every word, waiting, hoping for a moment of weakness. They say they don't care, but their actions betray them. They are your most loyal audience. Haters are obsessed because they can't understand why you keep winning. They've convinced themselves that you're overrated, overhyped, or just lucky, and yet, every time they count you out, you rise again. It frustrates them. It challenges their worldview. And so, instead of ignoring you, they double down, analyzing, gossiping, creating entire narratives around you. Some of them started as admirers. They were drawn to your energy, fascinated by your success. But when they realized they couldn't match it, that admiration twisted into resentment. Instead of learning from you, they chose to critique you. Instead of clapping, they chose to hate. But hate is just love that couldn't handle rejection. And here's the paradox. Your haters are your best promoters. They keep your name alive, spread your legend further, and unintentionally fuel your rise. Every negative comment, every attempt to discredit you, only makes more people curious. They try to tear you down, but all they do is increase your visibility. The real ones see through it. They know the difference between genuine critique and bitterness. They recognize that if someone spends that much energy hating, it's because deep down they wish they were you. So let them talk, let them obsess. Because while they're busy watching you, you're busy winning. Some people walk in and nothing happens. You walk in and everything shifts. Conversations pause, eyes follow, and the atmosphere adjusts itself to acknowledge you. Even those who don't know your name can feel it, the weight of your presence. It's not arrogance, it's energy. Confidence without effort, a natural gravitational pull that makes people take notice before you even speak. It's why some admire you, why others feel threatened, and why no one remains indifferent. You are the sun, and they orbit around you. You've seen it happen. The way people adjust their tone when addressing you. The way strangers find excuses to introduce themselves just to be in your space. Even the ones who act unimpressed. They notice you. They always do. Some call it charisma, some call it aura. Whatever it is, it can't be taught, and it can't be faked. It's the result of how you carry yourself, how you move with intention, how you refuse to shrink for anyone, and because of that, rooms will always adjust to accommodate you. But with presence comes responsibility. People will project their own expectations onto you. They'll look for clues, signs, weaknesses. Some will admire from a distance, others will try to get close for the wrong reasons. But through it all, you remain unshaken. Because real presence isn't about being seen, it's about being felt. And that's why no matter where you go, no matter who's in the room, they will always remember that you were there. The stories about you have grown beyond your control. People don't just see you as a person anymore. They see the myth, the larger-than-life figure they've built in their minds. And with that myth comes pressure. They expect you to always be great, always be right, always win. Anything less feels like a disappointment. At first it's flattering, being seen as legendary, untouchable, someone who always rises. It feels like validation. But over time, you start to notice the weight of it. The expectations are relentless. You can't have an off day without someone whispering that you've changed. You can't fail without someone acting like the entire myth is shattered. They forget you're human, that behind the reputation, behind the viral moments and the whispered stories, there's still a person just trying to navigate life. But reality doesn't matter to them anymore. Only the image they've created. And the strangest part, some people want to see you fall just to remind themselves you're real. They want proof that you're flawed, that you're not as invincible as they once believed, because if you can fail, it makes them feel better about their own limitations. But here's the truth. You were never trying to be perfect. You never asked to be placed on a pedestal, and if people built unrealistic expectations around you, that's on them, not you. So you move forward, balancing the myth with your reality, living up to your potential but on your own terms, and in doing so, you remind them that true greatness isn't about being flawless, it's about being real. The world thinks they know you. They've pieced together bits of information, filled in the gaps with their own assumptions, and created a version of you that fits their narrative. But the truth, only a few know the real you. Public perception is a performance, whether intentional or not. People see what they want to see, and once they decide who you are, they hold on to that image tightly. But behind the myth, behind the name that carries weight, there's a side of you that isn't for public consumption. Not everyone deserves access to that version of you. Your real self exists in the quiet moments, away from the noise. in late-night conversations with the ones who've been there since day one, in unfiltered laughter, in silence, in the spaces where you don't have to be anything but yourself. These are the people who remind you who you were before the world started watching, and that's why protecting your circle is everything. The wrong people will take your truth and twist it. They will try to use your vulnerability as a weapon. But the right ones, they see you beyond the legend, beyond the hype. They knew you before the world did, and they'll still be there long after the noise fades. Because at the end of the day, the realest thing you can do is keep something for yourself. Let them speculate, let them create their own versions of your story. But the truth, that belongs to you and the ones who truly matter. You didn't just become a legend, you learned how to own the power that came with it. Some people let attention control them, moving recklessly just to stay relevant. But you move strategically. You understand that influence isn't just about being seen, it's about shaping the conversation, controlling the narrative, and making moves that echo long after the moment has passed. The difference between those who burn out and those who build lasting legacies is simple: control. You've seen what happens to people who let fame, hype, or public perception dictate their actions. They chase validation, they overexpose themselves, and eventually they become just another name people used to talk about. That will never be. You know when to engage and when to fall back. You know how to let speculation work in your favor, how to make silence more powerful than words. And most importantly, you know that true power isn't in being talked about. It's in deciding what's talked about. But influence isn't just about personal gain. The real masterminds don't just use their name for themselves. They use it to open doors for others, to create impact that lasts beyond them. You're not here for momentary hype. You're here for legacy. So while they're busy gossiping, analyzing, and debating, you're busy building. And by the time they realize what you've done, it'll already be too late for them to catch up. Because the real power move, letting them think they know your next step, while you're already 10 steps ahead. The whispers started as a joke, a rumor, a passing comment, but now they've turned into something undeniable. Your name carries weight. Your presence shifts, irrooms. People you've never met feel connected to you, and stories you never told are shaping your legacy. You didn't chase this. This chased you. But here's what separates legends from forgotten names. The ones who last don't just go along for the ride. They take control. You know now that perception is power, that influence can be shaped, and that every word spoken about you is an opportunity. Whether they admire or criticize, whether they hype or doubt, they're all proving the same point. You cannot be ignored, so keep moving, keep winning, keep letting them write their stories while you craft your reality. Because at the end of the day, the truth is simple. The legend of you is only just beginning.